Where do I begin? Where do I begin? Keith Thurman versus Josecito Lopez this past Saturday. Keith Thurman won again. But of course, wherever is Keith Thurman, there's a bunch of haters. And a bunch of haters that want to see perfection. And a bunch of haters are the Errol Spence lovers of the world. So of course, if Keith Thurman don't knock out anybody he faces in the first round within seconds, he's going to get critiqued. And most of the critique ain't going to be good. Now let's talk about the obvious about the bout. Let's talk about the obvious. The obvious is that Keith Thurman been away for a long time. And it's going to be a longer video than usual. Because I got to cover everything down. You know? We're talking about the strength. We're going to talk about the strength, the weaknesses, the hypocrisy of the fans. And the people that think logically. We're going to all put it in one bowl. We're going to talk about it real quick. But it's going to take some time. Y'all got to understand me. Y'all got to humble your minds. Let's begin with the obvious of this Saturday night bout. This bout was, of course, the obvious that Keith Thurman was out for 22 months, near 23, let's say 2 years. He was out. Not 1 year, not 1 year and a half. We're talking about 2 years with injuries and surgeries in the middle of it. But of course, fans, they think fighters are robots. They don't think they don't acknowledge the ring rust that a fighter may have. That could potentially, you could say 95%, you're going to see some ring rust. And especially you're going to see the ring rust when he's coming from injury, not a layoff. I'm not talking about the Mikey Garcia, and I'm talking about Andre Ward and Andre Ward, he had knee surgery. But I ain't talking about the ones that they just really lay off and just, they dealing with business-wise, like Demetrius Andrade. I'm not talking about that kind of layoff. I'm talking about the layoff that it keeps you out. You want to fight, but it keeps you out. But okay, the obvious is he's been out for 2 years. We all know that. Because, of course, a lot of haters and Keith Thurman fans been trying to say, where's Keith Thurman, man? Where's Keith Thurman? Damn, he's not hungry no more. You heard it from fans, and you heard it from the people that hate Keith Thurman. Huh? You've heard it from me. You've heard it from a lot of pages out there. Where is Keith Thurman? Damn, man, he got married. Damn, he ain't hungry no more. Blah, blah, blah. Everything in the book. Right? So let's talk about the fight, because I'm just jumping. We're talking about the obvious 22 layoff. He won. And the thing, let's talk about the good. Let's talk about the 7th round, because that's what everybody just want to talk about. So yeah, in the 7th round, Keith Thurman he was getting his tail beat. That's the obvious. We know that. But let's talk about the other obvious about that 7th round. The 7th round is, once again, Keith Thurman does get hurt, and once again, he don't go down. So, if you're a hater, or the way you want to analyze and assess that is what? Damn, Keith Thurman, he keeps getting hurt. Or Keith Thurman is, goddamn, the dude could take a punch. The dude stays up. You gotta look, what fans want to look at it. Of course, the haters gonna be like, oh man, he ain't ready for no Bud. He ain't ready for no Spence. Look, every matchup is different. What you mean that he's not ready for no Spence or he's not ready for no Bud? First, Keith Thurman is real enough to tell you that this is his get back year. But of course, fans don't want to listen to it. They just want to listen to what they want to listen to. Or they want to assume whatever they want to assume. Or they want to micromanage Keith Thurman, and they want to micromanage everybody's career. Especially dudes that never even boxed before in their life. They want to micromanage everything. Huh? Because they fans, they think they're the bosses. The bosses of all bosses. So he had a layoff. He got hurt in the 7th round. He didn't go down in the 7th round. Is that a sign of balls? Is that a sign of heart? Is that a sign of grit? Or is that the sign of weak? Because you get hurt and you don't go down? Come on. Let's quit with the hypocrisy. Let's quit with the nonsense. Let's quit with the hate. Let's all be humble. Fans and unfans. And people just who like that watch boxing, and the casuals and the hardcore. Let's keep it consistent when we assess boxing and boxers. Because We all know Terrence Bud Crawford, which is a pound for pound type of fighter, which is probably in my list #1 pound for pound, got hurt by Gamboa. But he came back, and he came back stronger. Let's not forget that Emmanuel Lardy, when fought Errol Spence, clocked, and he was dazed, and Errol Spence was dazed. That wasn't an elite fighter that did that to Errol Spence. That wasn't we ain't say, oh man, imagine if Keith would have hit Errol Spence with that overright. Imagine Errol Spence would have never been Errol Spence. Let's quit with the if games, because every fight is different. If you think about it, look, Keith Thurman got hurt by who? He got hurt by Soto Karass in the first round. Is Soto Karass an elite fighter? He got hurt by Luis Collazo. Was he an elite fighter at that time? He got hurt by this last fight by Josecito Lopez. Is he an elite fighter? Is he in your top 3? Top 5? Did he get hurt by Porter? Nope. Did he get stunned by Dana Swift Garcia? Nope. So it don't matter. So when people say, if he was fighting an elite fighter, oh man, he would have been done. No, he probably would have never been done. Probably that same fighter would have never had that type of I got nothing to lose type of effort by Josecito Lopez. There's a lot of elite fighters that don't have that type of attitude. There's a lot of elite fighters that don't want to put themselves in a position where they could be knocked out. Maybe Porter does, but the rest of they play it safe as well. Just like Keith Thurman said in the post interview, he ain't want to risk it. And there's a lot of fighters that don't want to risk it. Josecito Lopez, that's the way he fight. He got nothing to lose. We all know that. He got nothing to lose. So of course he's gonna go over that. He knows. We all know he can't. He knows he can't outbox Thurman. He knows he cannot overpower Thurman. So he got to be reckless. He just got to do whatever it needs to do. He got to be dirty and just try to do everything. Just swing for the fences. That's the game plan. There's no other game plan to it. Now the good obvious, and I want to talk about the positive of the audience, the obvious stuff that people ain't talking about. Because I've been following Keith Thurman. I've been following all these guys since the amateur. And I'm going to tell you like this. Keith Thurman threw 900 punches. 899 copyrights, but that's 900 punches. He landed more than double punches compared to Josecito Lopez. Now let me tell you like this. Keith Thurman is not a high volume puncher. We all know that. So when people talking about ring rust, and this, look, I disagree with the ring rust. I say that Keith Thurman was as sharp as hell. Keith Thurman was as sharp as knives. Keith Thurman, we all know that he don't have the elite jab. He don't throw too many jabs. He's a superior feiner. He feints the F out of you. And he was jabbing like he was Sugar Ray Leonard. Check it out. Look at the fight again. Stop looking at the fight. I'm going to tell you like this right now. Guys, stop looking at Keith Thurman and looking at his fights, thinking about Errol Spence. Because now you're searching for perfection. When Keith Thurman is fighting Josecito Lopez, you're looking at if it was Errol Spence, if it was Bud Crawford, if it was, pay attention, be entertained by the fight that you watching, my brothers and sisters. Be entertained. If Keith Thurman would have knocked him out in the first round, y'all all be saying, well, that's what he had to do. Damn, ain't no ring rust. Oh, damn. But you know what? I'm glad, and people should be happy that they saw a 12-round bout. And Keith Thurman himself should be happy that he got a 12-round in. You know why? Because it showed you everything you needed to know just by that one fight, by that 12 rounds. Because if he would have knocked him out in the first round, look, Amir Khan, and when he got back, he knocked the dude out in the first round. What happened in the next fight? He got dropped by Samuel Vargas. You want to assess him the right way. We haven't seen Keith Thurman in 2 years. I didn't want to see no first round knockout. I wanted to see if he got his stamina up. I want to see how he was training. You could see it in a 12-round bout. You're not going to see it in a first round bout. So what you saw, we saw that Keith Thurman was a high volume puncher, which he's not. That means he got better with the high volume punches. That means his stamina was up to throw those kind of punches. First, his jab. Look at his jab. Look at every fight since the amateurs. Keith Thurman is not known for a jabber. He looks great with the jab. He was disguiding his right hand, which was swollen, and was using the left jab all day long and was connecting on the left jab. He was triple jab. He was tripling and doubling in his jab. That is something new. That is something new into Keith Thurman. That means in that sense, he is getting better. Another layoff. He went 12 rounds, so the stamina's up. Another thing, he got hurt again and stayed up. And he wasn't just clinching. He wasn't holding. He was still moving around. Meaning, just looking at it, Keith Thurman got the best leg work in the game, second to Floyd Mayweather. Second to Floyd Mayweather, he's the best in moving in the ring. Even when he's hurt. So he showed you grit. He showed you that he got stamina. He showed you he was prepared for a 12-round bout. He showed you jab. He showed you the output. He shows you counter punching. In the second round and the first round, he was switching from orthodox to southpaw. That means the dude was prepared and still getting better. Now the ring rust is, for me, the ring rust, it wasn't so much of a ring rust. It was so much paying attention at all times, protecting yourself at all times, and keeping every second and being serious about every second and every minute of the 3-minute interval. You have to be prepared for everything and keep it, and you have to be totally disciplined at all times. Now, if a dude get clocked, if a dude get hurt, my brothers and sisters, this is the fight game. This is boxing. Bro, this is at the highest level. Don't you think? You think that Keith Thurman and every other boxer is going to go a whole 12 round, a whole fight and not get touched? Come on. Come on. What are you asking? You think that every boxer don't get touched? You ain't supposed to say he's weak. You're supposed to say, damn, the dude can take a punch. And you glad you got your money's worth watching a 12-round bout. Everybody get hurt. And sometimes the person that you think that could hurt that person don't get hurt. Look at Saul Alvarez. Did he hurt Floyd Mayweather? Did Pacquiao hurt Floyd Mayweather? No. Did Luis Castillo hurt Floyd Mayweather? Yes. Did Shane Mosley at his age? Yes. Zab Judah did his thing? Yes. Are they Hall of Famers? We don't know. But the one that was supposed to, quote unquote, hurt him. They didn't hurt him. Did Maidana hurt and wobble Mayweather? Yeah. Did Cotto wobble Mayweather? No. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody, yo, this is high class level fighting, man. It's high class. Lordy wobbled Spence, but nobody else has wobbled Spence. Kell Brook did his little thing, but that's it. Lomachenko came back from surgery. He ain't looked at all that great, but he did the necessary things to do to win that bout. Stop looking at these fighters like they perfect. Don't make no sense. If you're going to look at boxing, at least respect what you're watching. At least respect that the guys that you're watching is dedicated their life to entertain your asses. Give them that benefit of the doubt. Give them that respect. What do I grade Keith Thurman? I grade him as B+. Because what I saw and the balls that I saw and the grit that I saw, the heart, because he could have said, F it, man, quit. I got millions, man. For real, I don't need to do this stuff. Just like Josecito Lopez, he could have got knocked down and be like, yo, man, oh, man, I going to take this again. But y'all don't acknowledge that as fans. Stop with the hate, man. The fuck is wrong with y'all lives? You want him to lose? Or you want to see what we all want to see down the line? We all want to see Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence. We all want to see Keith Thurman versus Bud. We all want to see Errol Spence versus Bud. So the best thing is cheer them on. So by the time we get the fight that we want to fight, then we get it. Then we get Gully and all these and whatever. If you want to be a fan, be a fan. If you want to talk ish. But till now, I am rooting for Errol Spence to keep winning. I am rooting for Terrence Crawford to keep winning. I am rooting for Keith Thurman to keep winning. Because this right now is the golden years of boxing. And we're going to see all these dudes punch it out, fight it out, and we're going to see who's going to be the best. As of now, Keith Thurman is the #1 welterweight of the world. Why? Because ain't nobody did in this 2-year layoff anything significant for anybody could jump and be #1. Errol Spence beating Carlos Ocampo and about to fight Mikey Garcia. And beating Lamont Peterson does not elevate him as the #1 welterweight over Keith Thurman. Sorry, not in the 2-year layoff. But Crawford beating Jeff Horn and beating another dude that got one leg that had shot the other one.